the candles glitter like you're in a thriller. Heart goes pound, pound, pound. Ghostly figures, they can get so bitter. Show you want to until you can turn back. You don't know where I've been. What's going on inside? Where the monsters like to come alive, come alive. Do you really wanna know me? I'm really not that cozy. It's up to you, so you decide, you decide. Would you love me at my worst till the coffin's in the dirt? Try to break me like a curse, you know that will never work. I'm a little bit absurd, I like dancing on the verge. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion, but could you love a haunted, haunted house?
Haunted house. I seen Bigfoot dancing in the background there.
I want to say hello, Miss Grace Johnson. Thank you. I'm here in spirit, more or less.
Yeah, we got Grace, we got Robert, Pat, Dana B, B Charming. Oh, look, we even got Lake.
Lake in there? How about that?
Good evening, everybody.
How's it going?
Grace.
Really?
Pat?
Diane the Cannon Ninja just become a sponsor.
Huh? Where did you see that at?
In chat.
Yep.
Really? Nothing popped up here.
Stream Elements.
Today is National Diane Day, so there you go.
Oh, she might have renewed it, because the bot will pick it up before anything else does. That bot's pretty quick.
AI. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, I had a few other people lined up to get up here, but like Jessica, she went out to hunt for Bigfoot, not physically hunt, but with cameras and all that fun stuff. Her and her team are supposed to be going out looking.
That's the one in North Georgia, right?
Yeah.
The Bigfoot Huntress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Spencer, he works too much. He said, by the time I get home, it's too late then.
Spencer's pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah. But one of the things I wanted to go over, I was watching another stream and they touched on it a little bit, is say you're out looking for herbs or wild edibles, or you're actually out there looking for Bigfoot, and you come across a dead Bigfoot. What would you do?
Change underwear.
Well, the thing is, he put it up as a question. Would you call game warden and tell him what you think you have, or would you just respect the right of the Bigfoot and walk away?
No disrespect, but I'm definitely recording it.
I thought a little bit different. I thought, well, I never hear of anybody getting any hair or any samples or anything like that. I would, like actually take $1 out and place it on the ground and take pictures. That way they can scale it and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of do a crime scene thing without, messing with it too much, and then maybe get a couple hair clippings or whatnot, and then leave it be.
Yeah, but as soon as you turn it in, it's going to disappear.
Well,
Keep it.
Well, that's the thing. There is a guy, and Bigfoot here probably knows who it's Dyer.
Dyer. It doesn't ring a bell.
He did this twice. He said he had the Bigfoot body. The second time he said he shot him, and he displayed it, and he went to all these places, fairs and stuff, and people paid to look at it, and it was all fake. And that's where the question came up. If you've seen it, what would you do? And that's why I kind of want to ask everybody, what would they do? And is there somebody that you call to report these things? Is there like a 1-800 call Bigfoot number?
Oh, I'm sure there's a number to something.
Yeah, we've definitely got a number to call. 100% we do.
Well, and plus, that's who the police call to.
Yeah.
It's the Adirondack Sasquatch.
I know who you talking about.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you there's an actual website that you bring up, and it tallies up how many sightings there are across the United States and where they're at, and what state has more than other states, and all this other stuff. How do they get all that information? Is what I want to know.
But then again, how many of them are real and how many of them are just made up?
Yeah.
They actually have them coded to possibility, vocalization.
Yeah.
They actually have them color coded to what kind of findings they have and what proof.
Okay.
And there's a certain people in each place that actually goes, right?
Bring a chair up here.
You tell.
Talking behind the scenes. Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of reports that have come in, and it's all across the United States. I mean, you look at areas like the Pacific Northwest, and it's like packed.
Yeah, a lot.
Pacific Northwest, and you got British Columbia. You've got just certain areas that are known to be hot spots, and you look at them, and it's like, if I was Bigfoot, I would like to live there too. Forest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how would you ever determine whether something is truth or not? It's you're reliant on people, and with people you get one side or the other. You know how it goes with anything.
Yeah. And like I said, if you came across a dead body and you could tell it was a large creature, and if you stretched it out, it was a Bigfoot, would you leave it be, or what would you do?
Tough question.
I would leave it be, because truthfully, I don't think a person is going to make it out of the woods with a Bigfoot, because the way I understand it, they take care of their own. They bury their own. Now, I may be wrong on that, but it seems like I've heard that a time or two. So
Well, that's the thing. Is it was it a lone Bigfoot out by itself and just passed right there?
road.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it a few ways, at least from my opinion. I mean, do you want to make the phone calls and get like a media circus around this thing, and or I mean, I think back to like Native Americans. What would they have done? They were more respectful of nature, and they were more in tune with nature. I don't know. It would seem to me pretty disrespectful to do that, but at the same time, And then if you had legitimate proof, let's just say you had proof, what's going to stop every Tom and Susie going out into the woods and tracking? I mean, everybody would be in the woods after this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All these YouTubers would be going into that neck of the woods.
Yeah. Yep. It's I think it would be a personal thing for people, but people would definitely exploit it. They're exploiting fake. Imagine what they would do with the real thing.
Oh yeah.
For $1,000, I'll sell you the big toe. More than that.
Oh yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You definitely have people that would see it as a payday. For sure.
100%.
Yeah, that's where you come across it if you know somebody that would be more into the scientific part of it, like doing a DNA thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than like calling the sheriff or because you're actually calling the government when you make that call. What are they going to do?
Then you get the test results back, and it'll be like, well, Mr. Bushcraft, we've got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is we did recognize the DNA. The bad news is it was a gentleman from Perry County. Perry County, Ohio.
Yeah, ER. I've seen a lot of that. People say that they travel through portals and stuff. Because
I brought some of them out.
I have seen certain ones where they go out and with the EMPs or not EMPs, EMFs.
Yeah.
And test, which I think a lot of because there are like what do they call them, waystones or waypoints or something like that,
Ley lines.
Yeah, that's it. That will set those meters off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty deep subject too. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with you're talking about Bigfoot. You could go in. What direction are you going in? I mean, are you going in the interdimensional spiritual, or are you going in? Okay, this thing's a gorilla. I mean, that's is it
wide
just,
spectrum?
Yeah, is it just a primate, or is it something more? Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of research. Unfortunately, on Bigfoot. I mean, I just spent a lot of time on it. I mean, here's a book. It's called The Nephilim Among Us, updated. It's Scott Carpenter's book, and he went that route. You guys know Nephilim's. That's biblical. Genesis. It talks about the Nephilim.
Long descendants, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. There's so many different theories. And that would be the amazing thing about finding. I mean, hypothetically, you find a body. I don't know. Maybe it would be good. I mean, maybe it would shut down some of these crazy theories, and maybe now we know it's this, and maybe that's bad. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's because no one's actually got one. Or except for that one picture or that video, because right now there's tons of them out there. But in this day and age, it's like, is it real, or is it just somebody messing with the camera?
Well, let me ask you, Charles. What do you think? Do you think it's legit, or do you think it's a hoax?
I've never had an encounter or anything except the thing I found out in the woods, and I didn't really realize anything until I had Kyle, and he said that's kind of the structure that they would be living in.
Mhm.
Like a nest.
Yeah, because to me it was like a wigwam, and it had leaves in there, like somebody was sleeping in there and whatnot, and it stunk. And he said that would be considered proof, or not proof, but something big was living in there.
Right.
And I don't think it was a bear, because
No.
I wouldn't have been there. I'm not. I think that there could be a Bigfoot, but for me, unless I see it, then, or have more of an experience than seeing a homemade hut out in the middle of the woods.
So you're saying you're not ruling it out that it's possible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. And that right there, that's what keeps things going. Because you can't.
Yeah.
That's why it's a cryptid. A cryptid's a creature or animal that science can neither prove or disprove that it exists. That's a cryptid.
But there's enough evidence to still
Well, not really evidence, but reports and such. And it's
Yeah,
that's where you got to make your decision.
and like you guys said, when you sit down and talk to somebody that has seen one, and you can see their expressions and how they're talking, and you can feel it in their voice, they seen something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
that's like before I even believed and poked fun, and I heard strange noises that I've never heard in 40 some years, but listening to somebody who's had an encounter, and years later, 40 some years later, their hairs are still sticking up, and you can hear their voice, like their chest is just pounding, and you can hear it. It's like all of a sudden when they're telling that story of that encounter from like 1976, you can feel and hear it from them, like as if it just happened, and I still get tingles thinking about that. And then, of course, me hearing noises and then seeing a casting from our mountain the same time period, that was enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a casting taken, less than a mile as the crow flies from our house. And this casting was absolutely massive.
You've touched it.
Yeah, we've got pictures of it. We've held it.
Yeah.
And the time that this casting was actually poured and formed, that was about the time when she started hearing strange things coming off the mountain.
Yeah.
And just the timing of all of it, it's like, who knows? Who knows what's out there?
The first time I heard it outside, it was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I was actually on the phone with Proper Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time. And many times.
And it's not just, I don't mean to hog the conversation.
Oh no.
Drop me down whenever you want. Just pick me backstage. It's not just Betty Ann seeing something out her kitchen window. There are a lot of those. I mean, there's so many reports, thousands of reports of sightings. But you're talking about, like, you familiar with Ron Moorhead? Ron Moorhead is a very smart man. Ron Moorhead wrote The Quantum Bigfoot by Ron Moorhead. And you ever hear of the Sierra Sounds? The Sierra Sounds were recorded in the 1970s. I think it was the 70s. And it was in the Sierra Mountains. They had a hunting cabin up in the mountains. And Ron Moorhead and his friends, they recorded some of the most amazing vocalizations that if you ever get a chance to listen to the Sierra sounds, you can even play them on YouTube. Listen to the Sierra sounds. Now they've taken those recordings of the Sierra sounds, and they had a former Navy cryptolinguist. I forget the guy's name now.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah,
He's a nice guy.
He actually took the recordings and studied these. I mean, that was this guy's job, and he took these and he found frequencies in these recordings that were frequencies were higher than possible for the human vocal cords and lower than possible for the human vocal cords. And his findings, Scott Nelson was his name. His findings were that this dialect that Ron Moorhead and his friends recorded was actually a very complex language. There was conversation going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's fascinating stuff. It truly is. It's not all just, some guy hammered drunk seeing something on the back road. This is stuff that's a lot of times comes from very credible sources. So it's easy sometimes to just dismiss it for people, but I like to be a bit more open-minded than that, I would say.
Yeah. That's like the whole UFO thing. I was, I like Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff because it was science fiction, until I seen something. And then as soon as I seen it, it was like I had to know more about it. And I actually went up to, I think outside of Snowflake in Arizona, where, the fire in the sky thing happened.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to the guy, but he wasn't having it or anything. But I did talk to some guys that were on the crew. And you listen to them say it, and you can feel it when they explain it, and they probably explained it thousands of times, and they feel the same way every time they remember what happened.
Now these people who are telling these stories, option A, they're really good at telling stories, and they can act and they can convey this. Or they're just normal people, and you're watching, you're just watching them pour out true emotion. And we've sat at a diner table directly across from Brian Goslin, who had the 1976 sighting in Whitehall, New York. Brian was one of the officers on duty at that time. And he sat across from us and he told us his story, and you could see the emotion, and you could like said, you could see, the hair on his arms would raise. He had tears in his eye.
Yeah, he still tears up to this day.
Yeah. Can I 100% tell you that's truth? No, but do I believe that's what Brian believes that he saw? Yeah, I do believe that.
I believe him 100%. He also doesn't take any publicity. A lot of the things that you guys will see on TV or hear about, you might hear his name or see quick little glimpses, is because he doesn't want that. He's not in it for the publicity or the money.
Les Stroud was talking about doing his them are pretty big size feet, aren't
Those ones are pretty close to here from this past summer.
Yeah.
That Brian got called. Well, first they called the police, and then Brian got called, and he went out and he took the castings.
Man, and I thought I had trouble finding shoes.
Those ones are actually shorter than the one from our mountain, but they're wider, which tells me this thing is heavy.
Yeah, this is Brian's book, Abel Road, the True Story. Let's see, Brian and Sue Goslin.
And it's very thin. Take notice of that.
Yeah.
Very thin.
Yeah.
Now, do you think there are different packs all over the country?
Well, that's what I was going to suggest, because Blake said they were fatter. That would make more sense of walking on a lot of snow.
Well,
Yeah.
this was a
You
little
know,
summer.
you know, snowshoes, because they're really wide, so that's so you can walk on top of the snow.
Yeah, so you can't use, that's the thing. You can't use snowshoes to fake a Bigfoot.
No, I'm just saying they're wide.
Yeah.
So
They would have
in your
adapted.
area,
Right.
the feet would be wider, so they could
Right.
walk on a lot of snow.
Yeah, but that was just like another point I wanted to make. People are like, oh, you know, they put those things on their feet and they go and they like try to do that.
Yeah.
Well, then how do you get the weight? Because
Mhm.
unless you have a few or like 3 big men on top of each other trying to walk like that, when you get the stride, you know.
Yeah, there's a
that makes
distance
it-
between the
Yeah,
strides. Yeah.
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 Good luck.
So
Pam
hence-
wants to know, can you put name? There you go.
yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'll put them right there in the chat for you to see.
Yeah.
The name of the book and the author, at least the 3 we just talked about.
Bushcraft, we've been
like
together too long. You already know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
This is one of my books, and I like
Where
this.
Bigfoot walks.
Yeah, I like this man very much, but he wrote this book, and this book is pretty good.
You know, it could be like one thing if it was just an isolated incident, but if you look into different cultures and different parts of the world, you have similar creatures like these, you know.
Mhm.
You have the Bigfoots, like I
Yetis.
think down in South Florida they call them the skunk apes.
Yep.
Yeah, you get into like Asia or something like that, they're the Yetis.
I thought the Yetis was up in the mountains in Switzerland.
Yeah, somewhere, you know. Come
Yeah.
on, you know the place, man. But yes, you know, there's similar pictures or I guess cave carving, stuff like that, of similar creatures from different places around the world at a time when, as we know it, they didn't have communication and connectability like we had.
I don't know. Whoever's on that keyboard is mighty quick. They
It's
got
just voice to
faster than
text.
my 3 fingers.
I think I've seen that one.
That one's a good one.
I think I have too. As a matter of fact, I think
Or
he
like
had
the
showed that book a couple of times.
I got them all.
Meldrum,
Yeah, that's the 3 that we looked at. Let me see that Meldrum book.
right there on the bottom.
Yeah. Now this
and
is a
then
book.
the way certain things.
Oh, look
this-
at them eyes.
Yeah, this one's called Sasquatch Legend Meets Science, and this was written by a gentleman by the name of Jeff Meldrum. Now I can't remember. It's somewhere in Kansas, or he is a professor at a university, and this is what it's hard to find, like people in the professional community who will step out and say, hey, I think this thing could be real. And he's more along the lines of Jeff Meldrum is more along the lines of it being a primate type creature. But you'll see Jeff go out on investigations looking for this thing, and I think that says a lot, because you know most scientists they kind of shun this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You want to get laughed at, you go tell your friends or your family that you have a Bigfoot encounter. That's the way it works. And people a lot of times that's what stops them from coming forward with their stories. It's ridicule.
Yeah.
I know I have asked this question a couple of times, but with all the technology there is out now, how come there is no more pictures than what there is of encounters of a Bigfoot?
Good question. Why is it the best footage ever recorded of a possible Bigfoot was was it in 1960s at Bluff Creek by Patterson Gimlin, that Patterson
Yeah.
Gimlin film.
On the
I mean,
8mm camera.
Yeah, it's never been disproved as much as they've tried.
Mhm.
Never disproved it,
They
but
even,
there's never been a recording of that quality since.
right.
Well,
Exactly.
that's the thing is that the latest thing it was a female, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did the wireframe and they did the stick figure part of it and everything and followed the strides and everything and
mhm,
said they couldn't disprove it.
yeah,
Well, one of the things I remember of that movie is they was in there trying to disprove it. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
saying that the steps that it took, even a man who was a professional stilt walker could not do the spaces of the footsteps that it
Yeah.
made.
so here's a question: Is there more burden on the person trying to prove it, or is there more burden on the person trying to disprove it?
I think one trying to prove it.
I would agree,
Mhm.
but at the same time, that's what makes it a cryptid. You cannot disprove it. Can't.
Like
Yeah. All these shows that the ghost hunter shows, they don't go in to prove, well, I should say the truer ones, not the ones where they get bit every time they go out.
Yeah.
But the ones that they go and investigate, they don't try to prove that there's a ghost. They try to prove that there isn't,
Mhm.
and
right.
which comes up with the debunk thing. Oh,
Yeah.
it's your furnace making a squeaky noise is what you're hearing, or something in those. And then if they do witness something that they can't prove, then
Or
they-
that sulfur smell you're smelling is actually a dry sewer trap in your basement. You pour some water on. Tennessee Ridge Runner asked a question: Isn't the creature in Asia called? I think it's Orang Pandek. Orang Pandek. It's just the little primate that they supposedly see in Asia.
Yeah.
But here's another thing. Okay, let's go down the primate scientific path for a moment. You've heard of Gigantopithecus blackeye. I think
Yep.
that's how you pronounce
I
it.
can't even pronounce it.
Yeah. Well, Gigantopithecus supposedly was like 14 feet tall, massive, gigantic ape, a primate.
In North America.
Mike Henderson and the Ape.
Yeah. Now, if you look into, like, they never found a Gigantopithecus blackeye skeleton. That's not how it worked. They found a tooth. And somehow through that tooth, they developed this Gigantopithecus blackeye off of this. I don't know how
What
they
you
did.
said.
how did they know it had the black eye?
I think it's BLAKII, something like. It's
Oh,
like
I
the
thought
phylum
maybe
or
it had black
species.
eyes.
No,
Okay.
it's above my pay grade. I don't know.
Yeah, it's black, but yeah, with an eye at the end.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Yeah,
you're more scientific than I am, because I don't even think I can get the words out.
I know I
Gigantopithecus.
can.
Yeah, that's
No
one of the
part of
big theories. I mean, if they're saying that primate, that ape, Gigantopithecus, walked this earth, and science says yes, it did. I mean, why couldn't there be something now?
Yeah.
Right? It was here before. That's the natural path, and that is the intrigue, and that's what draws everybody to the mystery of Bigfoot, because you can go that way if you want, or you can go the polar opposite way, and you can go the way of like the Nephilim. And this is the thing about the Nephilim. Do you know what the Nephilim are? The
Wasn't
Nephilim,
they the giants before the flood?
they were the offspring of the fallen angels and
I was going to
humans.
say, when they fallen
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm too comfortable walking around in woods where there could be those beings, you know?
And it depends about the bones, because there are mounds with giants in the mounds. They
Yeah.
found giant bones. So what's to say those are not Bigfoot?
Well, it's like I said, earlier, I think the Bigfoot takes care of their own. They bury their own when they pass. That's the reason we've not seen no bones or nothing else from them.
Yeah, that's another contention.
That's
You can go different directions on that. Do they bury their own? I've heard theories where they eat their own. They die, they eat them. I mean, it's possible. Who knows? I mean, you can go any direction you want, and whichever direction that suits your interest.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. They don't know no better. They ain't got no education like we do down here in the South.
But Bigfoot's big business. It really is big business. I mean, how many times, we were talking before the stream, how many times do you, and I'm talking to you guys in chat too, how many times do you go out in the day and you see a bumper sticker or a sticker in a window, a Bigfoot, or you go into a store and you see something like this? This stuff is big business. They make big bank off of it.
Don't forget the
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I mean,
Depending on where I go, I could see it every day, probably.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Little lone prepper.
Oh, he got changing eyes.
Yeah.
Like you were saying about the statues and Bigfoot and stuff in the yard, you probably not even 5 minutes from me down the road, there's a guy with a Bigfoot statue in his front yard. Not a huge one, a little miniature one,
Yeah.
But it's still funny. And
Yeah. Bigfoot.
Well, now, here in North Carolina, there is, I don't want to say, it's a forest, but I can't think of the name of it. And there has been sightings in that area, and it's by car, maybe an hour and a half from where I live right now.
Is it where the lights are?
Brown Mountain.
No, that's a little bit further, Brown Mountain Light. This is, I'd have to pull a map up to find it. I mean, to tell you where it's at. But it's northwest of Asheboro, up in that area.
Yeah, that's another thing is, there's the different local legends. Like you mentioned the Skunk Cape, or you go to Arizona and you got the Magayan monster. You go to Ohio, you got the Grass Man. You've got Boggy Creek. I just saw one mentioned Knobby. Knobby's another one.
yeah,
It's different. It's like local legends that.
Yeah.
And legends, whether they're completely true or not, they all usually start with some truth. I mean, there's something that started that.
Yeah.
some big event.
Yeah,
Well,
you try. Go ahead, Jeff.
Look at your fairy tales. People today don't really know the origin of fairy tales. It had to start somewhere in order for it to get to where it's at today.
Yep.
And bushcraft has done quite a few tales on how they started and the meaning of them.
Yeah.
And I don't care where you go in the States here, it's the same thing, but it's different names, like you talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying I'm super tall, but I'm at least 6'5" ish. Right? Now this was from the Whitehall Sasquatch Festival.
They're good people.
This is an 8-foot cutout. Now what would you do if you ran into something? I mean, that's me at 6. The thing is massive. That's 8 feet tall.
I told you what I would do. First thing I'd do is change my underwear.
Well, that's the thing. If you've seen that laying on the ground and it's all decayed and you know that's a Bigfoot. It's not a dog or a bear. It's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Hold that back up.
The first thing I would do, I would be looking around in the trees and all around me to see if there's
Another one.
his family
bait.
sitting there.
It's bait.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you got people who's walking out in the woods. I'm not going to say every
You
day.
said to hold it
They
back up.
run, yeah, they run across something that looks like that, you know, at 20, 30 yards away. Who's to say they wouldn't think, well, that's moss laying over there, you know, or something like that without going to check it out? You know, I mean, I probably would.
Well, that's the thing. There are people who go out in the woods just, you know, a normal stroll,
Right.
a hike or whatever, and they come across things that that you just don't ever would see. And there's just like how many times if you hear somebody walking through the woods and they step on a snake and they're looking for snakes and they actually step on one because they didn't see it.
Yep.
Imagine how much stuff is out there that you walk past and it could have been, you know, a Bigfoot toothpick or something.
Well, that Bigfoot could be standing right beside of a tree, see every move you making. You can probably look at it a half a dozen times and not realize what it is.
What you looking at?
You know.
Yeah. When I was when I lived out in the woods when I was a kid, I was sitting next to a stream. All you could hear is the stream and maybe a few birds and stuff. I had a bear walk like 6 feet away from me, walk up to me and look at me and go across the stream. I never heard him. I never heard that big thing. I mean, as soon as I seen him, I could hear him breathing.
Yeah.
And then he snorted at me and then walked across the stream, and never heard him, never smelled him or anything.
I've had the exact same thing happen to me on a Sunday afternoon while I was fishing.
And this was up in New York, and the bears are big.
Yeah. And we were talking about. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, some of the bears get 600 pounds.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about.
She's calling me fat.
wrong bear.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about kind of like going back to the history and things like that, and it's inevitable if you dig into the Bigfoot stories very much, you're going back into Native American folklore.
Danny Boone.
That's where it takes you. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
All over the world.
you
Now,
listen
wait a
to their.
minute. Was it
Go ahead.
Daniel Boone or was it David Crockett that shot and killed one?
Well, I don't know about killing one or anything, but I know
There is a story.
in the books he witnessed one. I don't know if it was shot and killed one or anything, but I do remember.
Now, I got into it. I want to say it was David Crockett. Now, I may be wrong with this, but it was either Boone or Crockett, the one that done it. He shot this thing about 3 or 4 times, and it wounded him. And he shot him in the chest. And then the last shot, he shot him in the head, and it killed him. Now, I did do some reading up on that. I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know. The story I always heard is that he witnessed, and it's the one that was in the Alamo. Was Davy Crockett, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But you look back into the Native American folklore, and it's you know, they tell stories, and it's interesting because different Native American tribes have different versions. Like some of them, it's the wild man of the forest, and you don't go around him because he will eat you. And some of their stories are like they traded, you know, they bartered with these creatures.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating. And then you look into some of their older the totem poles. You know, a lot of times on their totem poles, you can recognize every animal going up the totem pole until you get to the top.
Yeah.
And it's nothing I've ever seen before.
Or the caves and rocks hieroglyphics from
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. And that was before, way before.
What is that thing supposed to be? If it's not a Bigfoot, what is it supposed to be?
Yeah.
now,
Paul Indian?
there is another legend, the Indians, that they, like you said, they used to barter with these creatures, but they kept coming into camp stealing the, let's say, youngins, if you want to say that. And they were eating them, and the native people just got tired of it, and they went and wiped out that whole tribe at one time.
Ouch.
Wow, I've never heard that one.
Yeah. There's
That's scary.
There's stories like that, and not all of them are directed or sourced in Bigfoot or Sasquatch.
Right.
Bigfoot's the Americanized version of this, by the way. It's Sasquatch. That's what the Native Americans called this creature. Sasquatch.
Or what was it? There's a bunch of different names.
Sabe is another one.
That's the one.
I've heard that name, but I've never connected the two.
Yeah.
There's different. It's not just with the Sasquatch. You know, have you heard of the Pukwudgies from the Freetown Forest or the Hockomock Swamp in the Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts? Supposedly, there's Pukwudgies in those forests. They're tiny little creatures, and they're mischief makers.
There's goblin creatures in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Boy, there's a good thing you didn't ask me to describe what I thought a Pukwudgie was.
You know, I mean, even the Bible talks about all these creaters. Did they all just disappear from everywhere? I don't think so.
The Bible mentions creatures like Leviathan. I mean, what's that?
A unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, King James calls it a unicorn.
I never would have thought a unicorn was in the Bible till Dixie looked it up.
Well, like Allie says, what's more believable, a horse with a horn on its head or a flat-bottomed leopard cheetah
with a 10-foot neck,
with 40 feet tall with a long neck and horns, aka giraffe? What would be more believable?
Well, yeah, if he was to describe, have you ever seen one of these? And you give them a description. No, you're making it up.
Right.
Really? That's they eat off the trees and stuff.
You ever seen a long neck goat? I seen one.
Yeah.
Long neck goat.
Is that a real thing?
That's probably what they thought a giraffe was. I don't know.
Long neck.
Okay.
We were standing in Dick's Sporting Goods one day, and we were looking for stickers and stuff to send out to people because they used to have some pretty good Squatch stickers there. And I picked up a unicorn one, and Allie's like, I got a real problem. And like, I mean, she didn't realize how loud she was, did she?
Mm-hmm.
And right there in Dick's Sporting Goods, right there at the front doors, she's just going off about this fat-bottomed giraffe. That's where that came from, huh? What book do you want?
The white one.
The white one.
I will be back in a minute or two.
Yeah, then back to your original question, Bushcraft. You were talking about what would you do if you found one, right? If you found a dead Sasquatch in the forest, what would you do? Well, this isn't necessarily Sasquatch, but it could be. This is another book. It's called Giants on Record. And if you read the smaller print, it's America's Hidden History, Secrets in the Mounds, and the Smithsonian Files. Now, this book is literally filled with hundreds and hundreds of examples of giant skeletons that they have found during excavations of Indian mounds or just general excavations. And almost every one of these stories that you read in these books has the same ending. The ending is this: the Smithsonian came to investigate, and then you never hear of it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
exactly.
You telling me every one of these bones that they found, and you can find them from every state, all of them just disappeared, and there's no record of them anymore? They're gone.
Yeah, that's somebody said that they would like to go into the Vatican, down in the basement and find out all the stuff that they've hidden over the years. I'm like, no, I kind of want to go to the Smithsonian,
That's
and look around all that stuff, because I think they're kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, there was, if you look back into the history of these discoveries of the giant bones in America, at the early on in the beginnings of the Smithsonian, they had a director. I've lost the names over the years, but he was diehard into this, and he was going out and investigating and basically telling the truth. And then something happened. They put the Smithsonian, whether it was recommended by a higher something, 3-letter word, they changed their director, and from that moment on, the entire mission of the Smithsonian was to debunk all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when all the evidence started disappearing. It's fascinating read. It's really good history.
Yeah,
That's what they do. They debunk certain people like that, and like you said, gather the evidence. So at that point, only they know they can control the narrative. At that point, it's like in the end of the Indiana Jones movies, when they collected the artifact, they brought it to this big old vault with other artifacts, crates and stuff. And who's to say there? If you've got a book, if they tell you what they've did to a minor degree, there's so much more that obviously they wouldn't tell you, for sure.
Yeah, that's the same way with. And I'm not dissing on Catholics or anything. It's just the Vatican stuff. A lot of stuff, if they couldn't, stuff that they thought that would hurt the church would disappear in their basement, basically.
Oh yeah. You think of all the riches and the spoils collected over the time and throughout history, paintings, artifacts, you could think it's probably there.
Okay, here now let's take this deeper. I know we're getting way off topic. But, let's take this deeper. It kind of ties in with your first question. If you found a body, right? Why would an agency such as the Smithsonian or any 3-letter agency, why would they want to hide that?
They always swoop in.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, what would be the negative thing that they wouldn't want to come from that? Why would they hide it to begin with?
Well, it's just like, why are they still trying to disprove the Bible? People are easier to control if they don't know the other stuff that's out there. That's my interpretation of it.
Yeah, I've heard. The Bible talks about giants. David and Goliath. David killed the giant. So if perhaps giant bones were found, maybe that would give, maybe they're afraid it would give credence to more of the biblical passages, that sort of thing too. I don't know. And you really don't know how much of any of it is legit, but it sure is fascinating just to read about it. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, what always got me is, because with the Bible talk, they always say that it's just a story and stuff like that, and it's actually a history book. Like, because you're in Daniel now. Look at all the stuff that was 200 years ago, and foreseeing all this stuff happening, their names and everything. How do you make that up?
Yeah. Wait till Thursday coming up when we read Daniel 9, 20, 20, the end of Daniel 9. Put it that way.
Last 4 chapters.
Yeah, last 4 chapters. Daniel prophesies 483 years in advance to the day. I'm not talking about off by a few months, off by a year. The prophet Daniel prophesied an event in the future 483 years to the exact day. And you can do the math and prove it. That's the kind of truth that sometimes they want to suppress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's a fascinating it's a fascinating subject, and like it can. That's a good
Science
point.
project gone wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't like to think of Sasquatch as being really Nephilim, because that, in my mind, that makes them not the friendliest creatures and not the best things to be hiding in our woods.
Yeah. Well, there are movies that if you go in the woods, you don't come out.
Yeah, I noticed. I can never say his name. It's OPR8R357.
Yeah, I just call him
Murphy.
What do you call him?
Opie.
Oh, yeah. Opie mentioned earlier.
He's our neighbor.
Okay. He mentioned earlier about David Paulides and the missing 411. And that's David Paulides. If you guys do not know David Paulides, look him up on YouTube, the missing 411 stuff. It is absolutely phenomenal stuff. And he goes to all these national parks and all these forested areas, and there's just people who just vanish. And a lot of people try to make like a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch connection with that. The disappearances, or maybe even UFO connections with that. It's good stuff. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Goliath foot. I like it. David should have taken a souvenir from. Well, I guess he did. He took his head. Never mind.
I forget the exact county, but it's in North Georgia at the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. There's a Bigfoot museum exhibit / I guess tourist spot.
I have a hat from there.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I still like calling him Opie though.
Operator. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, I think he's told us a couple times, but I just see the OP, and that's all I see.
Yeah. Lake just dropped David Paulides's link. If you guys want to check that out, if you're into that sort of thing, David Paulides he's just a really cool guy too. Just down to earth, normal guy. He's really, really cool. Opie is fine. Okay.
Yeah, you can almost tell the difference in some of these. Well, like I was saying earlier, Les Stroud, he wants to do more Bigfoot stuff this year, It's the only problem he has is the networks won't pick him up, because one time he'll go out to do an investigation and he won't find anything, but he talks about, and he does history and talks about stuff. But there are shows that they go out every time they hear knocks and they hear somebody screaming, and oh, there's a footprint, even though it looks like somebody fell down and rolled around or something.
Yeah.
And he says those shows will get picked up before his will. And he says that's the unfortunate part of the business right now.
Yeah. I did not feel that, Lee. Nope.
I hope she's not joking around.
So I was talking to you earlier about, well, maybe I better not do that. You're right. And just from some personal friends of ours, we know that there are groups that go out. I mean, he's seen it firsthand. And these aren't just small groups. These are big time on your cable television groups who go out into the woods, and they actually hire people to go up into the woods and make calls and do tree knocks back at them. And they're making a killing off of it, making bank off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what ruins it. That's what ruins it.
Yeah. It's just like the ghost thing. There's some of those that every house, every investigation they go to, they catch something, or they get bit or clawed.
Yeah. They always get the 3 claw marks down their neck or something every time.
Yeah. Oh, he got me.
How can they ghost bite? They ain't got no teeth.
Yeah, I don't really get into that stuff. I think that stuff's dark. That's you go poking around enough in the dark, and there's going to be something poked back and grab, and I don't want no part of that.
Exactly. Like a Ouija board. Don't mess with a Ouija board.
Oh, they're safe for 8 years old and up.
Yeah, I'm shutting up.
Yeah, until I seen one catch fire, I used them and played with them and everything when I was younger until I seen one catch fire, and then
you saw a Ouija board catch fire.
Yep.
I never could get one to catch
I
fire.
used to have scars on both my knees, and the girl had scars on her knees from the Ouija board catching fire.
Well, man, sorry, Bushcraft. That's just too funny. I gotta laugh at that.
What is
He said it was just Bigfoot gas, Lake Silent One.
I'm serious. I was out on the porch and I felt it twice. It was like I didn't hear anything. And there's no vehicles. So,
yeah.
I mean, you can hear a pin drop outside other than it's raining a little bit, but it was like a vibration. So,
we've had the earthquakes in Ohio quite a bit here lately.
I've been seeing that a lot.
And I don't feel it. I thought I did once, but the cars feel it. All of a sudden, you hear all the alarms go off around the area.
Interesting.
I have never felt an earthquake yet.
Oh, I've felt big ones, but
I definitely felt earthquakes. Yep.
Well, we had a real big one. That was the day of my weird dream that came true. That was creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sort of kind of came true, but not. It was explained to me by some really good people. That was March 11th or 20th of 2020. A couple towns over, a few towns over, it was that big where we felt it all the way over here.
Yep.
I think it was a 3.8, 3.5, something like that.
Opie, those aliens are working their way back up from underground.
See, that's what I think. I don't think they come from upstate. I don't think they come from outer space. That's what they want you to think.
You guys,
boys.
you guys have
underground and in the ocean.
probably heard of Admiral Byrd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Look,
what makes me think.
yeah, if you haven't ever heard of Admiral Byrd, that's another rabbit hole you're going to go down.
Well, now, didn't his son also make the same trip that he did?
I'm not sure, but he went to he went to both the North and the South Pole,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and supposedly he found
said they're
some
switched.
crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the way the story goes, he came back and he got silenced.
Well,
So
he even went and this ship came up by their plane, and he went underground with them and talked to what he referred to as Nordics.
according, he called them the Nordics and the Greys.
Right, the Greys.
He says he spoke with them,
Yeah.
and they came from, that's where Hollow Earth. You've heard that theory before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And times, and then there's some other people that are involved. We actually got all the Hollow Earth documentary movies. But yeah, Admiral Richard Byrd was a very respected man, decorated.
Mhm.
And he had no reason to lie. I mean, he knew if he said something. He was even told to not say things, and he did.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's, once you start bushcraft, look where we went.
Look again like this. We haven't talked about food.
Well, I was going to ask you this. This is because this is Bushcraft Family Home. You know, this is a prepping channel.
Wow, it's
I mean-
bushcrafting survival.
Well, here's the question. And maybe Ark Wildman's done this before. Can you pressure can Bigfoot meat? I'm just asking.
Well, you have to find one.
Well, let me go get some.
Well, here, wait. I may be able to find something for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why not.
Pressure can, and then they wear those bear skins as jackets. Can you imagine wearing a Sasquatch skin?
Well,
Oh boy.
back in July 11th, 2018, I found one, and I made Bigfoot cake.
Oh,
My daughter and I made that.
Check that out.
it's got
That is
6
really-
toes.
Now there's 5.
Yeah, you had to look.
It's like, wait,
Couldn't remember. I mean, it was 2018. No, but we took marshmallows and cinnamon, and we took food coloring, and we did all kinds of things. We had the whole caro syrup for the bone. Like
it was legit. It looked really good. And it was cake, which made it even better.
yeah, that was really fun.
Ark says you can can anything.
Yep.
Good joke.
I think you got to use your big jars.
Jeff tries to can his pie, but it never gets to the jar.
That's a good question, Tennessee Ridge Runner. Do you skin the Bigfoot or shave it before canning?
I would definitely shave it. But I don't think I'd eat it, because if it had any human, I mean, they're said to have a language. So is that partial cannibalism? I wouldn't eat it.
I bet you didn't think it was going to this type of food on the street.
No.
Great.
What about, like-
I can imagine
Well-
how many jars it would take.
What about pickling? Could you do like pickled Sasquatch foot?
I was gonna say pickled Bigfoot toe.
Yeah, pickled squatch toes. Yeah.
Ooh, yuck. That sounds horrible. I'm not.
Finger looking good.
Oh, that's horrible.
Darn. Opie says archaeologists has found canned food back 13,000 years old.
Oh yeah, that
We do have canned
What
Sasquatch
is it?
farts.
what is it?
It's Sasquatch farts.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, don't let him out.
Oh, it smells beautiful though.
It,
It's 4 Sasquatch farts. You get it?
yeah,
Oh,
it
for him. Okay.
helps.
Oh man, this candle smells scrumdiddlyocious too.
Does it work?
It's never been burnt. Declan
Oh.
Declan gave it to Papa for his Sasquatch.
Okay.
Great Cam says hard pass on that.
Big's feet.
Yeah, canned Squatch parts. You can use it for like a fuel source.
Well, what do you think they eat?
Anything they want.
I think that I think that they would eat like a bear. I think that
Right.
Like an
How about
omnivore.
omnivore.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about this scenario? A Bigfoot versus the biggest ape on Earth. Who do you? I can't think of the name of it.
Like
King Kong?
King Kong.
Well, not King Kong, you know.
Like a silverback.
Yes. A Bigfoot versus a silverback gorilla. Who would
Round
you put
one.
your money on?
Round one. Fight.
Predator.
Ding ding.
Man, that would be a good one. I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Then the winner has to fight Mike Tyson.
Pay-per-view.
Oh. Yeah, but the winner may end up losing some parts.
It's all in the fine print.
That's probably where you end up finding that Sasquatch body.
Possible. Ooh, that smell. What group was
Mountain
it?
gorilla.
Maybe Donkey Kong really wasn't a donkey. Maybe he was a Sasquatch.
Mhm.
You know, no, that's something to think about.
Yeah, here we talk about finding a Bigfoot body. Now we're talking about eating them.
Dino ribs.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah, I used to like Fred Flintstone driving home with them big ribs on his car.
Look at Wild Man's comment.
Bigfoot would win and then
And
by
we will make America great again.
360 days of perfume.
Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you for subscribing.
So, you know, Grape Gems has her own version of Sasquatch. I want to think that Sasquatches eat greens. Seems comforting to me.
Yeah.
LOL, he won't eat me.
Like I painted that I like to see Squatch like,
Yeah,
you know, like peaceful.
yeah.
Like here.
Yeah, that's how I would picture it. I don't know if they would chase down animals and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Chilling.
Yeah.
He'd be just chilling.
It's that one with nature.
Yeah.
Now I could eat. I see him eating fish though.
Yes. Salmon.
Oh, heck yeah. Why not?
That's
I would.
probably why we have so many Bigfoots out here is because we have salmon.
Yeah, you think those salmon are just naturally going upstream. It's because they're running from Bigfoot.
Sure, you would know naturally what plants to eat and what not to eat, you know?
No, this is not human flesh, though.
You know, for some reason, in my mind, I'm seeing Bigfoot chasing down a deer for supper.
Could be.
Bears will do that if they get hungry enough. I mean, bears, we have problems with them up here eating the strawberries and the blueberries and any kind of berries. And we have bears that are like trash pandas, like a raccoon, and they go through the garbage. You know, the further up you go, the more trash bins you see with a lock and chain and in a metal container. But they'll also catch a deer and drag it across, you know, a road or bears actually up here. We've got videos of that going into a caravan. A sow took her cubs into a caravan up here. And then later on during the week, the bear went in with her cubs, went into the house and opened the door. And I don't know why, but she ripped off the refrigerator door.
She's hungry.
Her cubs, she had what, 4 or 3? I think it was 4 cubs. She was a boot, yeah.
Couldn't you imagine a Sasquatch getting salmonella on kind of a deer that was left out too long.
Oh, you'd need that.
And their
camera.
immune system probably just eats salmonella for breakfast.
Yeah, they don't eat our food, so they'd be used to that stuff.
Yeah, true. Hey, Bushcraft, we're talking about all the different sighting reports and encounters that get
Yeah,
sent
it's
in.
funny you would say that.
What's your favorite scary story? All right.
No, this over here.
Oh, the BFRO sightings.
Yeah. I was just sitting there looking at it, and one thing that surprised me is Texas. And
Yeah.
this is in the last year, 255 sightings
Mhm.
Really?
in Texas.
Yeah,
You would think
Georgia's at 140.
you would
Anything
think
from
that
North Kakalaki?
it's not that dense, you'd be able to. It wouldn't be a prime area if I was a big Bigfoot. I would not want to be in Texas.
There's a lot of, I've done a lot of those
North
encounters from
Carolina,
Texas on the
106.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got one that was from relatively in your neck of the woods, Bushcraft.
Ohio. That's sitting there looking at that 321 sightings last year.
Yeah.
Can I read a sighting to you?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was just in 1 year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is just one of hundreds, if not thousands, of encounters that get reported every year. Okay, and this encounter happened in Coshocton County, Ohio, off Route 16 in the Wayne National Forest, about 20 miles or so from Warsaw, Ohio.
Yeah.
He says, I was just curious on this matter because we may have seen what appeared to be a Bigfoot. All I can say at this moment is what my son and I saw was very large and moved really fast across an open grain field, freshly harvested, as we were looking around the area to set up deer stands for the upcoming season. This creature was about 5 to 6 acres from us when we cleared the tree line, and it was walking towards us in our direction. It saw us momentarily. Then the thing let out a howl that I can't begin to describe. It was very loud. It took about 2 more steps, and then it bolted to our left and cleared this field faster than any animal I know. We were stunned, scared, and ran back to our Jeep and got the heck away from there fast. The date was Saturday, the 9th of October. This creature had to be at least 6 foot 8 inches or taller. It had long brownish black hair all over its body, and the smell, it can only be described as like death. It was very harsh smell, worse than skunk odor. We were headed into the wind. As a hunter, that's what you do when you're looking for a good game area, when hunting deer as well as trails and access and food sources. We could not tell if it was male or female. As for how close, maybe 100 to 75 yards away when we cleared the tree line. Then that howl was so loud once it saw us. We were in full camouflage, heavy woodland print military issue. As a Marine, I have never seen anything like that before. The terrain was rolling hills, heavy to patchy woods, a few small creeks and ponds, some farmlands, and light to full harvested corn and soybean fields with large number of game trails, deer, rabbit, raccoon, squirrel, pheasant, and other game animals. That's one encounter.
October 14th,
Uh-oh.
2010 at 2:25 p.m.
Yeah, from Coshocton County, Ohio. And it's hundreds of these encounters that are sent, hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah.
So that's when, do you think every one of those encounters, these people are lying? Or do you think they're at least, maybe they're not lying, maybe they're at least saying exactly what they think they saw? Or did they legitimately see something?
Well, I'm sitting there looking at this because I brought up Coshocton County, and you see up here it says April 2001, and it
When you
says
take your vacation,
witnesses find animal carcasses in a possible display arrangement near Coshocton on the Woodbury Wildlife Refuge. And here's another one where they seen animals arranged, and that was in 98. Other ones just report footprints.
Hmm.
Now, Bigfoot, when did you take your vacation?
Well, okay, well, we were home when his mom and his sister and our brother-in-law had their encounter with their neighbor, and that was in one county. And then, like a week later, not even a week later, it was in another county, like a neighboring county. So,
Yeah, it went from Perry to Muskingum County.
right.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously they're in Coshocton too. So they're all over the place.
Yeah,
Talking Hills,
and you can see Guernsey,
West.
which that's Salt Fork, and there,
Salt Fork.
yeah, that's known for the sightings of Bigfoot.
Yep. Salt Fork is definitely a hot spot.
Yeah,
We all need to meet up and go up there.
and the thing is, that Salt Fork has a Bigfoot convention thing. I didn't even know this, and I was like, "Dang, I could have went down there and went to that." So I'm gonna may go this year. We'll have to see.
You should definitely.
Sure. Check it out.
I was like, I never knew that because I've been to Salt Forks so many times.
Yeah, same here. I have too.
We have a little swimming area that we go. We don't go to the beach because it's too crowded. We go to there's like a little rest area. It has bathrooms and everything, and you got to walk down to a little cove. Perfect place to swim. And we have picnics and fish and swim right there. So much better than the public area.
Life, do you get a lot of encounters of Bigfoot, Sasquatch in Georgia?
Well, he just pulled up the monitor, and it surprised me because it said I think it was 140 or 141 sightings in Georgia last year.
Yeah, 140.
Which surprised me. I mean, I've heard stories, old stories, old stuff like that. I've never seen or heard anything personally. I know there's a lot more stories. There used to be stories like along the coast. There was tales of giants and stuff like that lived off the coastline. And of course, in North Georgia, once you start getting into the mountains, there's some stories up there. Stuff like that.
Yeah, like by TJ, the mounds. She's
Yeah.
talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be more worried about Jekyll Island.
Oh yeah, I've been there before. It's definitely got if you know anything about it, it's definitely got that vibe about it.
I did a video on Jekyll Island.
That was creepy.
Yes.
Didn't you guys have them stones down there too that somebody blew up?
The guy.
Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd actually been there a couple of times. Been a while ago though.
Yeah, somebody been. I forget. I came across a live when they were talking about it. Not a normal channel I go and see because they started talking about stuff I didn't want to know about. But they were talking about strange things started happening around that area after those stones had been removed, or whatever you want to call it.
It's I forget the exact county, but it's like probably maybe about an hour and a half west of Atlanta. And it's literally just how they show it. It's just out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it was, I don't know. And then as soon as it happened, you go online and it had all these interesting facts and stuff about it. Like, man, how could it be that instantaneous?
Yeah.
Like breaking news and boom, it's already been etched in stone as history.
Oh, there's Lori. Hey, Lori.
Lori has some interesting things her way.
Yeah, it's very possible, Lori. That would explain a lot.
She's
Now you got 101 in the room, right? in chat.
There's always been some speculation on the stones, but I think it had also had a strong tie into what you said about Jekyll Island. That type of connection, because a third of the world's wealth used to travel and vacation down there.
Hey, 101.
Yeah, there's a really dark side to Jekyll Island. Really dark side.
Yeah.
And that's where our country's Federal Reserve, our banking system, was established.
Yep.
They had the meetings there. And
Yeah.
legend has it the actual room where they signed the documents. This was, I won't get into any names. Don't want to get Bushcraft in trouble. But where they signed the documents, supposedly that house is built right on top of the site of a sacrificial altar. It's like there's a dark side there.
Yeah, there's definitely some energy and a specific reason for that type of location for sure. Whatever the Native Americans they saw or they believed, it weighed heavy on their decision to make that spot what it was.
Yeah. I see the chat talking about bones and why we don't find bones or why the bones get hid. And I want to ask chat a question. How many times have you, and I'm asking everybody in chat, how many times have you walked through your forests and stumbled upon a complete bear skeleton? How many times? And you guys on the panel too. How many times have you guys stumbled upon a complete bear skeleton?
Honestly, 0.
No, and I've lived up in Idaho and Oregon and stuff where there's lots of them.
Right.
I've seen 1 or 2 bones.
Yeah.
But
so think about
I've never seen the actual head either.
If you have
or the skull.
Yeah. If you have bear, which are, you can see bear, they're populous. I mean, they are recorded in nature. You can see them a lot of times. And if you never have seen a bear carcass in the wilderness, how much exponentially harder would it be to find the body of or the carcass or bones of a Sasquatch? You've never found a bear, but now we expect to find a Sasquatch skeleton, which is 100,000 times more rare or 1,000,000 times more rare.
Yeah.
Look how many deer there are. You know how hard it is to go out and find antlers?
Yeah.
I mean, you can find them quite a bit, but there are thousands and thousands of deer. But
yeah, you're not tripping over them.
Yeah, it's like you have what the best thing is have a dog that can find them. But if you're by yourself and looking, it takes a good while. You can go miles and not see one.
You can go a whole season without finding me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's cherry rosemary.
Cherry rosemary.
Yeah, there's deer everywhere around here. And I think I've maybe stumbled across one time, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
My whole life.
They're talking in the chat about rodents eating bones, and that is the truth.
Yeah, squirrels.
We've been out in our front yard.
I leave bones out there for the squirrels.
And a giant beef bone comes falling like 50 feet out of our pine tree.
Almost.
Yeah.
How did the cow get up there? See, it's proof of the flood. I don't know.
Oh,
but it's
I know it, the dust.
On it.
It was actually for our dog, but the squirrels gnaw on it for their incisors.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Somebody just in a Discord, somebody posted a video, a little short. Guy decides to take his wife hunting, and this is out out west where there's elk and stuff, and he says he got her a license for a cow, which is a female. It's a doe elk. So they're already set up at camp, and he goes in town to get something, and on the way back, she messaged him, tells him that she got a cow, and he said, "That's great." And he gets up there, and it's a cow that, moo.
A literal cow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And he said, that's not, you're supposed to be shooting an elk. He said, no. And she says, no, you said I had a license to kill a cow.
Yeah, she thought that's where burgers came from.
Yep.
Look, I would
Phoenix.
prefer to hear a cow that says moo any day of the week than I would have to hear one cow say le moo, le moo.
What is that? The French version of a cow?
Yeah.
Les mots.
Les moo.
Hey,
No,
hey,
no,
friend.
that's the cow from California. Ha
Bushcraft, remove that link for TH2 as a coronary.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
I got you, TH2.
Why don't you? Wait, he can't. Wait, TH2 can't remove links?
No, you can't remove something that Bushcraft's channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
And
he
I
wants to run
can't
his
remove
channel
it
or something.
either.
This whole time I've been doing
I'm not
YouTube,
a
I didn't.
mod.
This whole time I've been doing YouTube, and I never knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Like
we
as
go.
a mod, I can't remove your link from or anything that you write in your own chat. I can't.
There we go.
So,
I had to
what's your
refresh
favorite
twice
scary movie?
because it said I was not a mod and I can't remove links.
Wow.
The missing link.
Only Bushcraft knows what my scary story is, and I cannot.
Your
tell
what story?
Scary story?
Oh,
Oh,
I thought he said theory story. I'm like, theory of what?
I gotta walk away for a bit. My legs are they need to move.
Bigfoot.
Stretch it out, big fella.
you need to get you an ottoman, a little thing under
Campfire?
your desk to stick your feet up on. 'Cause I can't stick my feet down.
Oh no, he has a. You know what he's got under his desk? Let me just show you.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh. Show and tell.
The candy jar.
I love how me and Watt are like, oh,
Oh.
crap, here we go again.
It
Oh,
warms
check that
his
out.
feet. It vibrates.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he's got all the things. He's got all the
It
things.
it looks like a futuristic version of Simon.
Yeah. Simon 2024.
That's walking then sitting.
Simone.
Yeah, he's got his feet up.
Simone. It's changed to genders.
Simone.
Yeah, I have to have my feet up because if I'm
Oh no! Did I
I
just
have my
start?
feet down like this,
Oh,
I'll have to get up and walk around too because it's
Well, if Bigfoot needed to do that, he would have to tear down the wall or move out the desk.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I just start a new leftist movement there, where board
Probably.
games change gender?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
no.
if I extend
Oh
my
no! If you all see that shit in the coming months, I'm done.
well, you cut out the back part of the desk to where his feet stick out the other end.
Take the drawers out.
That's something we could do. Just put a little circular hole. Flush. We could just cut a hole through the desk and put a little pillow in there.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the desk, I could just make it nautical looking, like it was one of those, things from a boat.
And you could set it the other side and paint his toenails.
I think Allie did that when she was little once while he was sleeping. I'm pretty
Bushcraft.
sure she's done it at least once. Yeah.
You don't give him another thought to do while he's asleep. Can
Well-
you imagine him getting up in a hurry and going to work with painted toenails?
Actually, I think he was awake when she started, and I think he fell asleep while she was doing it or something.
Well, I'll tell you a story, and I didn't know what gel packs are and all that stuff. My daughter had to practice, so she was doing cosmetology, and women out there know what gel packs are, or gel coat, or whatever it is. It's a permanent nail that sticks to your fingernail that you can't pry off.
Oh,
Anyways, I had to walk around for like 3 days with like 3-inch fingernails on my left hand.
Nice.
Get that.
you can't
Sweet.
trim them down.
No, you can clip them, but you need like very hard
Yeah.
clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Grinder. They sell grinder.
Aviator pliers or something.
Was it red? Grape Jams wants to know what.
No, they were pink.
Oh,
And I had scratches on my face, and because I'd you know,
yeah.
in the middle of sleep go like this or something, and I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what the heck is this? And I'm like, it's
see
a
them?
claw.
You ever see them people typing on them computers? They have those super long nails.
I have no idea how they do that.
I don't know. I don't get it.
And you know what? I played World of Warcraft, and I've actually wiped the raid because I couldn't play because my left hand is the WSD, you know. So I'd end up running through and aggroing everything, and would wipe the whole 40-man raid, and everybody's screaming and hollering at me. And I said, it's not my fault.
Grape Jams and Grace are getting a kick out of this, and I think everyone else is too. Like, Bobby, tell them about the lakes.
Well,
What?
I'm gonna put it like you. Any man that sits down with their daughter and dresses up or whatever is more of a
Or
man.
shows them how to do things.
Well, I
Yeah.
never dressed like a girl or anything, so but I did have to show my daughter how to shave her legs, though. We were clothed, so don't freak out. We were in a tub and had shorts on, and I showed her how direction you had to go, and like you got to get around. You got to be careful around the little nub by your foot, whatever the little nub ankle thing is.
I'm sorry. What? I came back to the conversation. I walked into this. I'm like, what? 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 What?
I had to show my daughter how to shave her legs. So
he used his own leg to show her though with shorts.
Yeah, because you won't know this, but women do that. You have certain spots that are really tender that's hard to shave. So you have to show I had to show her these things, and
right.
And I walked around for a couple weeks with one shaved leg. Yeah.
That's funny.
Nair does wonders nowadays.
No, Nair's bad for you.
Yeah, and it smells like rotten chicken when you put it on. I tried it once and it burnt my skin.
Man.
That stuff is nasty.
Now that is a scary story.
Well, when I was in Job Corps, somebody changed somebody's shampoo and put Nair in it.
Oh
no!
And they was in there lathering up, and all of a sudden they had long hair too, and it started coming down in clobs. And the thing is, it didn't make him completely bald. There was still patches of hair.
So you look like Jason from like
or the guy from The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, hey, that's even worse. Yeah, I was thinking
Can
like
you
pain.
imagine what happened to the person that got caught doing that? Yeah.
Can you imagine how much I care?
The
You seen the tear in my eye?
Don't go there, man.
and it wasn't me. I didn't do it. No,
This time.
no, I wouldn't do that. That's
Maybe OP because what is it? The place, what's that called? I always get the name messed up. The place where all that nuclear radiation is, where they see all those creatures sometimes.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about the new type of creatures?
No.
No,
In
no.
Russia, you're talking about
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. Yeah.
That's what it is. I always call it True Noble.
Hey,
They've
that's
actually
What is this, Barnes and Noble?
I don't know.
they've actually found a new species, and it's supposed to be the most dangerous animal.
The werewolf?
No, it's I forget what it's.
The
Now,
most
them
dangerous.
I believe in.
It's like a Wolverine that they have up in Russia.
Chupacabra?
Shit, I know what you're talking about. Damn it, give me a minute.
A Democrat.
Potent.
Bye.
What is it? Damn it.
The French call it les incomposants.
But it's actually now it's mutated, so they don't call it that no more because it's like 10 times the size of whatever that Wolverine thing is in Russia, and they've witnessed it as being the most dangerous animal now.
Have you heard of the movie that came out a few years ago called Annihilation?
Did we just see that not long ago?
Sounds familiar.
I forget the exact actors and actresses, but it's actually a pretty decent little sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it earlier because somebody mentioned portals and different creatures and then the bear. Well, make a long story short, there was this happening that supposedly came from like a radioactive zone, and it was just taken over, and everything that went into the happening or the shimmering or whatever they called it slowly transformed. And there was this scene in there where it was like this bear, and it had been fused into like morphed into something else, but you could still tell it was a bear. That was a pretty epic scene in the movie.
Now, I like what Tennessee Ridge Runner said. The most dangerous pissed off wife.
Yeah, and there's trees and grass and all kinds of other animals growing in there and everything. No, it's not a wombat.
One of the ones looking it up.
It's kind of
No,
like
I'm over here.
devil.
I'm on Snapchat, fucking around.
Oh.
Still ain't accepted my Snapchat request, by the way.
You sent me one since when?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh,
I'm just boosting the algorithm.
I have Lake added, so like, yeah, like I don't. For all I know, she gave you it. I don't know.
I wouldn't do that without your permission. You know that. You'd whip my butt.
Well, I mean, I got Bushcraft's old
I still use that though.
Hey, Ruben.
Yeah.
What were we trying to look up? The Russian Bigfoot?
No, I don't know what it is. It's
Nancy Pelosi.
It's like a bear and a Wolverine mix.
So Gretchen Whitmer.
So it's like a new Russian cryptid, is what you're saying.
Well, I wouldn't say it would be a cryptid because it's man-made. Radiation did it.
Oh, they made this thing, or radiation happened to this thing.
Yeah.
But it's like known. It's there. There's proof of.
Oh yeah,
So it's not a cryptid.
they watch it from a distance. Well, I don't know if they've went in there and witnessed it but
Oh yeah, I see it.
they've got videos of it taking out bears.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as the Wolverine.
Well, that's what it's the Russian version of that, but it's like morphed into something else.
Mm.
And there's there's people that saying that there's 3-headed squirrels and all that kind of stuff living there.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but and that's the thing is nowadays half of stuff you can't say, oh, well, I seen it on TV, it has to be true, because most of the stuff we see now is, I'm in a bunker. Even though there's still people out there still think that I live in a bunker.
I still believe it.
Yeah, when you gonna put some food in that thing? Ain't you getting hungry by now?
It's in the other room behind that door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Grape Jam says she just Googled it. Well, what's
Yeah,
it called?
I can't find it.
I've seen some reports that of course, we don't know how true they are, but they said since that happened and the limited, I guess, human or whatever interaction out there has caused a rise in certain predators like the wolves and bears and stuff like that. I can only imagine there would be levels of mutation. I couldn't imagine to what level, but yeah.
Oh, she Googled Bigfoot.
Russian Bigfoot. Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't they Yetis up there?
I think so. Yeah.
And that's the thing is like in different areas you would think they'd be camouflaged to that area, like rabbits.
Yeah.
You go in the Arctic, rabbits are white, so you can't see them. So you would think a Bigfoot would be, a white Bigfoot.
I would think so. The abominable.
Yeah. I wonder if that's actually. What do you want? Come here. What do you want?
I don't care what y'all say. I believe in werewolves.
Unfortunately, I do too.
Yeah, there's some good stories.
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood.
Well,
Yeah, there's one.
Time traveling werewolf.
Oh, that
Huh?
would be.
Need to make that happen. That sounds like a good one.
I was waiting for her reaction.
You're such a dork.
I would watch it. Hey, I ain't never heard of it, so I definitely would watch it. What? Time traveling werewolf.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. A lot, apparently.
Sorry.
I just found it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect.
You got it.
Y'all don't know what we're talking about. I'll show you later.
You're gonna save
my
it?
God. Yeah, you could save it, just don't show it to people, like, because it's got my name on it and that. I don't need
I
that.
wouldn't do that.
Oh my god.
oh, is he using the werewolf filter?
No.
No,
Oh.
I can't even. Oh,
You know the weird stuff I do on Snapchat sometimes and send like you?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's weirder than that.
weirder than that.
I
gotta
don't
get
do that
with
kind
it.
of shit very often, but when I do, it's hilarious.
I gotta get Snapchat.
Yeah, but I don't know how many Well, technically, I could fit a lot of people in the bunker. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't. It'd be on a screen.
Oh God. Oh, I'm tired. I need
Yeah,
to
I
retire.
actually had somebody saying that I added a green screen to cover up the fact that I'm actually in a bunker.
Oh, you got to be kidding. Right.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking too originally.
yeah.
You got to quit doing that, bushcraft.
I don't, and I still have not replied back. What do you reply back with that? You got me.
You got me.
You're the only one that's figured that out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pat Evans says she wants the lower bunks.
Yeah, the lower bunk. And TH2
I know.
will have flashlight nose filters. What?
Nose. Oh,
Well, I
like
want,
me breathing it into the mic. I know what you're referring because you know my nose whistles. Asshole.
Yeah, but
I want
But Pat,
the lower bunk.
what would happen if the person on the top bunk was about 450 pounds? Would you really want that bottom bunk?
Boom.
Well, my luck with beds here lately, it wouldn't make no difference to me at all.
So many room for activities though.
Look at all this room for activities. Yeah, bunk
Yeah.
bed. Surprise Bigfoot's not out here.
Can you imagine how fast you would get bored of board games?
Play
Well,
Monopoly. That usually takes a couple of days.
that's why I got like probably 400 or 500 DVDs, and they would get boring after a while.
Yeah, after what, a week, you'd be done seen all of them.
Definitely could binge watch.
Yeah. What was it? Binge watch Friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Lake, did you just splice my beard onto your face?
Kind of.
What? What am I looking at?
It's hilarious. I'm like really
Oh
hungry.
God, who do you look like? Damn it! Shit.
Like that Charles Manson guy or something, but like way.
It's like
poopier.
some kind of wild man that. Oh God, I can't put my finger on it.
Art
Oh,
Wild Man.
You do
It's like
know
the
they
one
call
that you did. That's like the filter that makes you look how you look when you get older. I said, dang it, mine made me look just how my granddad looked. That was weird.
On TikTok, the filter that got me the most views was me flying through the sky.
What?
I'm gonna have to break my foot.
God. What?
Oh, that's the
that
filter
singer.
I used to use on my green screen.
What was that singer's name? Down in the Bahamas.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, that's who she kind
Yeah,
of reminds
kind of
me
like
of.
him.
Wasn't that Jamaica?
Weird.
Yeah.
Jamaica me
Well,
crazy, man.
no smuckers in the bunker. Really?
Huh?
Gosh,
That code for something?
probably really big legs in that one.
Oh, totally off center, but y'all know I am going live tonight, right?
Oh, you
I
are?
don't believe it.
No, I didn't know.
I didn't know either. You said in a couple of days because you needed to go.
I know. I got bored and lonely, and I'm here now. Okay.
Okay.
Bored.
Well, it's a good thing you
they're
said
making-
something because I was just on the verge of doing a 24-hour live.
Oh Jesus, Lord.
Yeah.
Christ, yeah.
24-hour scare-a-thon.
Yeah.
I need to
You
send
do?
Jeff that little video there. He get a kick out of it. I just texted my old supervisor it, and he's cracking up laughing.
You do know they're making another version of Band of the Brothers, don't you?
Another
Really?
version?
Well, maybe
It-
another series of it.
Is it?
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Do I dare take it there? Oh no!
No, let it be.
You mean the flying version? I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not Band of Brothers though.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, that's Band of Brothers was the one 101st.
that's 101st Airborne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. At the time, it was called Fort Bragg.
Did they change that name again?
Hell yeah, dumbasses.
What's it now?
Damn, I can't even think of it.
Toodaloo.
Them people
Camp
were-
Camp Tiddlywinks.
Oh,
Boy.
I swear to God, if that's another thing that happens,
no,
because
there's something major going on, and I don't.
Go ahead. What can they do?
you want to say it on my channel, I don't give a shit.
We have branches. If you know what I'm talking about, branches
yeah.
that they go overseas and protect us and stuff like that.
Okay.
Used to be you needed a high school diploma or very slim chances you'd need a GD. You don't need any of those no more. You only have to score a 50 on a certain test. What's that mean?
It means you're not coming back.
No.
Wait, say it again.
When we're allowing pretty much anybody to get into these branches.
Oh.
Infiltration without, I mean, that's art of war shit. Sorry.
When you're just lowering your
ruin it?
standards to the
Did I say
absolute.
something?
Because we're to get in when you got out of high school, you had to have a high school diploma. Very seldom you could actually get in with a GED, but normally it was a high school diploma. It's the only way you could get in, and you
So
had
now
to
they're just
score
letting
pretty
anyone
high.
in.
Exactly.
Well,
All
again.
you have to do is score a 50 on a certain test.
Okay.
And
You
I
hear
know
that,
it.
Jeff? You passed.
Good.
Don't let you sit at a desk all day.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you do that anyway.
Yeah, I do that anyway. Not here lately. I'll put it like that.
I gotta go charge my phone. Wait a minute. I might have one here.
Mhm.
Or not.
Yeah, see that 50 for that test, and those who know who have taken it, no, 50 is like
Nothing.
really
Like the
50?
ASVAB test.
It's basically you show up, you're good.
No.
No, wait a minute. It's not even show up. It's are you breathing in some place somewhere?
If your heart is beating, you're in.
Are you in a coma somewhere in a hospital bed? Yes. You're well, as long as you're on life support, you're good.
Put you on the reserves.
As a zombie, you are in.
Next thing you
Oh,
know,
you're definitely in.
next thing you know, they'll be dressing coma patients in camo and calling it a border agents. They'll build the wall with the hospital beds.
They'll never know. They'll never know.
Oh, they're softer, I guess. They won't be witching about that barbed wire anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I
They'll fall
remember,
asleep on them instead of actually climbing over.
my son had to take the test, and he was really worried about it because he doesn't study or anything like that. So that's one of the things he was worried about, and he actually got pretty high on it.
Okay.
That's right.
And passed. But still, it's 50. I was talking to my son about it, and I said, now all you have to do is get a 50 on it. And he's like, what?
North Carolina, Fort Bragg changed its name to Fort Freedom.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's not bad. I mean, not
Pretty
my first
bad.
choice. Not my first choice, but I mean, at least it ain't some pussy shit.
Well, how many people in chat their bases in their state have changed their names?
Mine has within the last couple months.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still Selfridge, so
Yeah.
that's
Not
always Selfridge.
not only that is our national forest here in Ohio. We had to change ours. Well, I don't know why, but
I've been down there, Susie. I saw Iron Mike.
Iron Mike.
Oh, really?
Fort Bud Light. Oh,
Yep.
good damn. Really?
it has to be in California.
You know, my brain is very fried right now. They say the brain can hold like 2 terabytes of information. Well, I think I'm at somewhere around 1,000.
You done shut that all to pieces.
Gigabytes?
No, terabytes. Like I'm speaking actual facts here. Like it's 2 terabytes of information.
I'm into your Bigfoot jar.
Uh-oh.
He growled at me.
So it's not whose hands in the cookie jar, it's whose foot.
Well, I told Bigfoot I was in a Bigfoot jar, and he goes,
The candy jar.
Short bus.
I mean,
Damn.
shit.
Really? Exactly. That's what you say.
Oh.
the only
Oh,
time
no.
the only time that 101 was actually concerned about doing that was before midnight 2023, so he didn't bring that crap into the following year. Isn't that right?
What?
He probably had a foot stool.
You have to explain things slower there. Well,
I have to speak slower.
yeah, you have to explain it to him slower. He didn't catch it.
Oh, you didn't hear me? I said okay, so who was it that said it?
Yeah, you got to take a shit before midnight on New Year's. Otherwise, you carry that shit into the next year.
Exactly.
You know where you got that from?
From you.
I put that on Snap the other day.
No, you did this. No, you sent that to me like on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
why are you reiterating that?
Why am I reiterating that? Because I told everybody that. I told my parents that. Everybody that. Yeah. The next morning, I told my parents that I hope that they did. That way, they didn't bring that crap into the new year.
You know, y'all said like Fort, like short bus or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine them saluting? Yes, sir.
Be careful.
Man, don't make me laugh. Please don't.
That's why I don't have my camera on, but
Acting normal, huh?
Have you ever heard the story of the little engine that could?
Yes, I love that story. I think I can.
Why did you like sound like some creeper? Like what the hell, man? That was weird.
I don't know. It was just kind of I didn't really have time to practice it. You know, it was just kind of impromptu.
I mean,
I'll take that into consideration.
That almost sounded like Sling Blade, like a little bit. It wasn't quite. It was a little bit higher pitched, but yeah.
Major pain. Yeah, there you go, TH2.
That's what it is. Yes.
Major pain. Those were funny.
I couldn't put my finger on it. That's what it is. Major pain.
It was a funny movie.
Maybe you shouldn't be putting your finger on stuff.
Uh-oh.
Get off my lawn. Grace Johnson.
Ain't got no gas in it.
When the conveyor belt broke at my old place of work, I went up to my manager. I'm like, I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
Oh,
Everyone started laughing.
Oh yeah, I like that Major Pain.
It's funny.
Ain't Major Pain where he's got all them youngins.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I could do his voice.
No, you don't.
I did do it, Grace. Get off my
What
lawn.
happened to your camera, Link?
I'm playing with things. I'm plugging things and plugging things back in. Now I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did.
Bigfoot's gonna kick your butt.
Right here, but then I plugged it back in, but then it's not plugged back in. I don't know what's happening.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my YouTube channel.
Hey,
I used to stack mods like you 5 feet high in Korea. You
You
just
can't
said
handle the truth.
I don't know how to play with it.
Hamburger Hill.
I'm on Bigfoot's computer and I'm playing with things.
fried mashed potatoes.
Gotta ask yourself one question. You feel lucky, punk?
Is it this thing?
You feel
Yep,
lucky.
there it is. I got it. See up my nose?
You're upside down.
I'm not, but I am now.
Was it 5 shots or was it 6?
Can you do the are you feeling lucky, punk, in an Irish accent?
Oh, let me get a sip of tea. Maybe it's
Oh no, I'm sorry, a Scottish accent.
The Nut House could. Peanut could do it.
Get a stick of lemon.
I have to hear it. If I hear it, I could duplicate it.
Okay,
Maybe,
you want to hear it? The reason I'm asking here. So, hold on.
Uh-oh. It's your ringtone?
That was a weird siren.
Vineyard Dad, you're naughty. He's talking about those Lucky Charms again. You know, the heart, stars, and horseshoes, clovers, and blue moons. Lots of gold and rainbows.
So this is only 12 seconds, so I don't think you'll get in trouble.
Get in trouble for 3 seconds.
This is what I was trying to get Watt to say.
All right, let's see.
My weapons specialist, Ironhide. You feel punk?
Can you imitate that accent?
Play it again.
He done removed it.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
I don't think it's well Irish talking.
It's an Irish robot.
Maybe skittish, a little skittish, maybe.
Scottish, like kind of. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
You and your Transformers.
My weapons specialist, Ironhide. You feeling lucky, punk?
You feeling lucky, punk?
That wasn't that bad.
No, it was.
Oh Lord! All right, I gotta go do my stuff, so I will be showing or seeing y'all over there in a second.
Where's over there?
Yeah, where's over there?
Right by yonder, just past some,
Just past the fishing hole over yonder.
Exactly. I pulled the Jeff card there. Anyway, my stream in about 2 minutes.
How long are we gonna listen to you chit chat?
Like maybe 5 minutes.
No, at least half hour.
I haven't never seen that yet.
I mean, there's been times where I just drop the link. I say fuck it. So does that count?
You know, handle it.
That's the
Anyway.
first time I've heard what laugh.
Anyway,
The 101's
I'll
on
see
the
y'all over
roll
there.
Okay.
Dinner roll?
Out. Bye. Oh.
Well, with that, it is 10 minutes after he's supposed to be live right now. So let's see. He's late.
It's late.
I'm not turning my phone on.
I had to go charge.
But I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. I'm going to start doing these again to where we can not only Bigfoot, some more of this stuff, maybe some ghosts and some aliens in there somewhere.
Great James, I'm still hurting.
Werewolves, yeah.
Yeah, and those other weird, creepy ones too.
Yep.
All those people
always,
from Alabama.
Always. I thought you liked Alabama.
No, never.
I heard your the Alabama coach is moving to Georgia.
Oh, he retired. Thank goodness. That's a sigh of relief for everybody in the world, man. Dude, Nick Saban's out of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs. Gate Jams wants to know how Bear's feeling, and they're gonna keep praying.
I thought I was doing good until I went and tried to lay down in the bed. That's where I messed up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it hurts way worse afterwards. Bruised ribs are no joke. I bruised myself all the way from my clavicle all the way down to like my last rib.
I
actually had my ribs cut all the way down, and that hurt less than the bruised ribs did. I've had bruised ribs on the other side, and it took longer for the bruised ribs than cut ribs to heal.
I was bruised right from the inside all the way to the outside. It was bruised on the inside. They said it could take up to a year, and it did.
Yeah.
Grape Jams, I will, when it gets to where I'm at least halfway buttered to where I can put my BS into it, I'll explain what happened. It's kind of weird what happened, but hey, accidents happen, and I had one that day. I had a good one. And the way it hit and the way I hit them, I swear up and down, I've got a fracture. But then again, what can they do for a fracture? Nothing.
Wrap it.
Well, they wrap them.
Yeah.
Then your dad, I'm okay. This is something that happened back in my 20s. No, Bear did this one. He bruised his ribs.
I got into a hurry doing something. That's where I messed up, getting in a hurry.
What it was, Dixie tripped him down the stairs.
No,
some would say.
And I told him beforehand.
Yeah, see, I told me and Lake, we was talking what I was going to do. And I think, was it 30 minutes later, I emailed him and told him I'm on my way to the hospital. So, yeah.
I want to show everybody your Bigfoot cereal bowl. It's like this big. So then your dad mentions Lucky Charms, and this one's in the cupboard getting a new box of
Dixie
Rice Krispie.
Yep, Rice Krispies Snap Crackle Pop.
Do they still snap crackle pop?
Oh yeah, I could hear them across the room. I was like, let me hear.
There's a version of that too that's not very good.
They're not the name brand Rice Krispies, but they're Rice Krispies.
Dixie will not let me bring my cereal bowl out. She says it takes 2 boxes of cereal to put in.
Yeah, it's a pretty big. It's one of those Corningware.
Yeah.
bowls. Yeah, it's big. It's a serving dish, is what it is.
Standard serving size.
Well, you can damn near put a whole cow in mine.
All right. I gotta find my laptop.
Well, with all this said, we will catch y'all over on 101.
Exactly. So, Sunday, well, Sunday's a packed day now. We got the Vineyard Chicks
Anything tomorrow?
in the morning.
No.
And then we got Dig Deeper Ministries at 11 to 5.
Okay.
And then at 6, I'll be a guest on the Vineyard Chicks.
Yay.
Now, correct me, are they going to alternate their Sundays or are they going to be every Sunday?
Hold
They're
on a
gonna-
minute.
Lazy Days Ahead and Vineyard Checks are going to alternate 6:00 p.m. on Sundays.
Okay.
Right? Did I get that right? Vineyard Checks, Vineyard Dad, Grape Jones. I believe that's, yeah, because I think that, yeah,
Vineyard
Oh,
Edge is every
great.
Sunday.
every Sunday. They're going to do it every Sunday then?
Every
Okay,
Sunday.
they're going to do it every Sunday.
All right.
Oh, okay. I thought I read that they were going to, okay.
Okay, I'm back. There was somebody at the house.
Oh,
Yeah, every Sunday. It's
Okay.
they're going to have guests up and stuff. I'm still getting seeds, and people are still a little confused about the whole thing.
I'm that much confused about it. I am.
Yeah.
well, as soon as I get mine, I've already got my how I'm going to do it and where I'm going to do it at. I mean, winter ain't over with yet.
Yeah, because I've had people say in chat and stuff that they want to do it. You have to email us. That way we can get your addresses and
Right.
you can have a list of you. It's hard for us to just pick somebody out of chat. So if you want in on the collaborations, and you can do both of ours at the same time, it's still the same collaboration. Just email if you want to do herbs, you email me. If you want to do the other garden survival seeds, you email Vineyard Chicks. Anyways, let's go ahead and end this so we can head over to 101s.
Over here.
Out.
We'll catch you guys later. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.